Welcome to your workout today. With today's workout, we're going to be targeting three main areas. They're going to be strength, power, and endurance. Now, with today, you're going to need a couple different equipment. First off, you're going to need a set of dumbbells and or kettlebells. You're also going to need some form of cardio machine. Doesn't matter what it is, bike, a treadmill, elliptical rower, whatever you have access to. Now, if you don't have access to a cardio machine, you can get a set of jump ropes. And if you don't have that, that is okay. When we get to that portion, you can also run in place or run outside if your space permits. Now, with today's workout, it's gonna last roughly about, I would say 45 minutes or so. I want you to go at a pace that you're comfortable with at being uncomfortable. If that makes sense, right? So I want you to kind of push yourself a little bit, but not to the point where your form will deviate, because I really want you to focus on your form and your movement. We're gonna be doing a total of 4 sets of the entire circuit. And we have 5 moves, technically 6 in total. We're gonna repeat one of those. All right, let's get started. With our first exercise, you're gonna need just your set of dumbbells and or kettlebells. We're gonna be doing some dumbbell squat jumps. All right, I want you to follow along. Now with the squat jumps, right, I want you to hold the dumbbells right next to your side. We're gonna go into a squat, but we're gonna only go into maybe like a half squat or 3/4 squat. We're not gonna go all the way into a full squat. This way we can get a lot of power out of our hips when we do our jumps. And also, whenever you land from your jumps, it's really important that you cushion the impact by going into a light squat. This will also allow you to go right into the next rep as well. All right, let's get started. All right, we're gonna do 10, 5 more. 1, 3. Oh, for our next exercise, we're also gonna continue using your dumbbells or kettlebells, and we're gonna be doing a glute bridge or hip bridge chest press. Let's get into it. Grab your dumbbells, come down to the floor. You're gonna lie down. You're gonna bring your hips up nice and high, push off the heels, and then go right into that press. You're gonna come down, touch your upper arm on the ground, and then right back up. Don't go too fast, control your movements, and we're gonna do 12 reps. Good, we're almost there. 7. We got 3 more, here we go. 10, 11, and 12. All right, next up, after you just finished the dumbbell glute bridge chest press, this is where your cardio machine is gonna come into play. Whatever cardio machine you have, you can go 3 minutes. I want you to go at a pace to where you can stay consistent, right? Where it pushes your heart rate, but not to the max, right? Don't go all out. Remember, we got 4 rounds of this entire circuit to do. For those who don't have a cardio machine accessible, right? You got a pair of jump ropes. I want you to do some jump ropes if you can. I just want you to do some singles. You can play around if you like, right? And I want you to do doubles, just singles. I want you to have a nice, consistent pace for 3 minutes. And of course, for those who don't have access to machines nor jump rope, this is where we run in place. When you're running in place, I want you to get your knees up high as you can to where you get your thighs parallel to the ground. Whichever you're doing, remember you're doing it for 3 minutes. And when you come back, we're gonna start up again with 2 different moves and then another cardio move right after that. Welcome back after doing that. For our next move, all right, we're gonna be doing a single arm dumbbell or kettlebell power clean into a jerk, all right? For this, I always like using a dumbbell. It's just a lot more easier to control. But if you don't have access to a dumbbell, of course, you can do the same with kettlebell. I'm gonna demonstrate both, so this way you kind of see what it looks like. With your dumbbell, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop that dumbbell right in between your knees. You wanna make sure that we're gonna go into just kind of like a slightly bent over position, action position. This way we can really thrust our hips forward, bring the dumbbell close to our shoulders. As the dumbbell comes up to your shoulder, you wanna make sure that it kind of stays close to your body. All right, let's do this. And jerk, come down, clean, jerk. We're gonna do 8 of these on each side. Control your weight. Notice that whenever I clean it to my shoulder, that it stays close to my body. Also, when it gets close, I dig my elbow underneath the weight to support the weight. All right, we got one more to 8. All right, then you're gonna do 8 now on the other side. Now with this other side, I'm gonna use the kettlebell to demonstrate. With the kettlebell, it's the same process, except the rotation of the kettlebell is slightly different. So instead of bringing it straight up and just digging your elbow underneath the weight, you have to add a slight external rotation. Notice that with the rotation, the kettlebell kind of sits in the pocket to where my forearm and my shoulder is, right there in that pocket. You don't want the kettlebell to go over your hand and smack you right in the shoulder, right in the forearm. That's why we want to twist. Come on, 2 more. All right, 8 on each side. Whew. For our next exercise, we're gonna be doing a dumbbell and or kettlebell single arm row. For this one, I actually like using the kettlebell. Like I said, either will work. So for this one, we're gonna go into kind of like a split lunge. You can put your hand on that front knee, or you can place your elbow on that front knee. And from here, we're gonna go row. Row. We're gonna do 12 on each side. 4. Notice that, try not to rotate your shoulders, right? Try to bring the elbow up and pinch your shoulder blades. Notice that as I'm lowering the dumbbell, I'm controlling it. You don't just want to go boom, boom, right? You want to squeeze, nice and slow, lower it down. Let's go, we got 3 more. All right, now to the other side. Back exercises are very important, especially in today's world where most of us work in front of a computer all day. Having a strong back help us with posture. Alleviate some back pain as well. 3 more, let's do it. And 3. Woo, well done. All right. All right, for our 6th and final exercise in our circuit, this is where we're gonna go back to our cardio machine. Like I said earlier, use whatever you have, jump ropes, run in place. We're gonna go for 3 minutes. Get yourself ready, and let's begin 3 minutes now. way to finish your first round. All right, you're gonna get 2 minutes of rest. If you need longer, you can always just hit pause when the rest ends. You can take a little bit longer if you need to. At this point, if you feel a little lightheaded, a little nauseous, it's best just to sit down, chill, lie down, and relax and take as long as a rest as you need. When we come back to it again, this is the point where we adjust our weight if necessary. So based on the 4 exercises we just did, right? Pick a weight that you feel like you can sustain for the next 3 rounds. Now round 2 is gonna get a little bit harder, but the test is really round 3 and 4. So set your weight accordingly. After you finish this rest, we're gonna start back up from the top with some dumbbell squat jumps. All right, guys, let's get ready for round 2. Go ahead and grab your dumbbells and or kettlebells, and we're gonna start back up with some dumbbell squat jumps. While you guys are doing this exercise, I'm gonna go over some few tips and tricks for this particular move. Now, this particular move is all about driving your hips forward to get as much height as you can into your jump. Of course, with the dumbbells in your hand, it's really gonna help you engage your quads. Now, when you jump, it's very important to kind of lift off the balls of your feet, your toes. Same thing when you land, right? You don't want to land flat-footed because that's going to put a lot of pressure on your knees. So when you go up, you land on the toes and balls of your feet first, then go into that squat. Then we can land more flat-footed, go right back into the next jump, and so forth. All right, you want to land like a cat. You're just going to do 10 of those. After you are done with 10, we're going to go back down to the ground and start off our second set of dumbbell glute bridge or hip bridge chest presses. All right, so hopefully you've gotten this down pretty good. Remember, with this one, it's about elevating our elevating our hips by pressing down through our heels, and we're gonna press up. Now here, I really want you to focus on your breathing, right? Whenever you bring it down, you control your breathing. Same thing as you press up. Now the breathing pattern goes like this. Whenever you bring it down, you inhale, hold your breath, exhale on the way up. Inhale, exhale. Just like that. Another tip for you is, as you exhale, focus on pushing your hips up too. So this serves as a reminder to keep your hips up nice and high, press through your heels to these hip bridge, glute bridge chest presses, okay? All right, after you're done with the dumbbell chest presses, now it's back to the cardio portion. Use whatever machine you did earlier, or jump ropes, or running in place. Same, 3 minutes. Now onward to our dumbbell single arm power clean into a jerk. While you're doing this, I'm gonna go over some of the tips for this move. You guys are gonna be doing 8 on each side. Like I said earlier, when you first start off, you're gonna drop it in between your knees. We're not going into a deep squat, we're actually slightly leaning over. You're gonna thrust your hips almost like you wanna jump. All right, when you're doing that, you keep your arm relatively straight. And then you keep the weight close, you clean it, and to clean it, you basically are pulling your elbow up and then underneath the weight like so, okay? So let me do it in slow motion, it's up, pull like this. You just gotta do a little faster. Notice I'm landing in a light squat. This way I can thrust my hips forward and propel the weight up and above my head. You're gonna do 8 of these. A lot of times on the dominant side, for me it's the right side, it's a little bit easier. And then when you get to the non-dominant side, it gets a little bit more challenging. This is where you have to pay a little bit more attention to your form. All right, so you can go a little slower. Notice that it's the power of my hips that's helping me jerk up the weight above my head. Remember, it's 8 on this side as well. After you have done 8 on each side, right, we're gonna go into our single arm dumbbell rows. You can use the same weight, except for this one, I really like using a kettlebell. Whew. Oh, hot summer day. All right, let's do this. So with this one, as a recap, you can put your hand on your knee. You can also put your elbow on your knee to do this, whichever you're comfortable with. Notice with my back leg, I also have it nice and straight. We're gonna do 12 on each side. Just like I said earlier, I'm gonna go over some tips for you. So for you to do this properly. Most importantly with this move is about pulling the elbow up and engaging your shoulder blades, right? You don't want your hand all the way up here by your shoulders. Then you're using a lot more of your biceps. You really want to focus on pulling the elbow up and pinching, right? Pinching the shoulder blade in to engage your back. Like I said, also in that first round, try not to rotate your shoulders, right? Try to keep your shoulders as square as you can while you're doing this move. Follow my breathing pattern, right? You inhale whenever the dumbbell is close to the ground. Exhale as you bring the dumbbell up. Once you finish with 12 on that side, you're gonna do 12 on the other. Back exercises. Back exercises, if I didn't say that earlier, are one of my favorites. It's always good to have a strong back. Once you finish with 12 of these, then next we're gonna go into another cardio portion of today's workout. Okay, after you are finished with 12 of those single arm dumbbell rows, we're gonna go into another segment of your cardio. 3 minutes, just like you did earlier, starting now. All right, guys, way to finish your second round. Go ahead and take 2 minutes of rest, get some water. Like I said earlier, if you need a little bit longer of a rest or if you feel a little nauseous or lightheaded, go ahead, have a seat, chill, relax. You don't have to necessarily finish the workout. This is more about what you're able to do today. So if you feel, nauseous or uncomfortable, go ahead and just relax. All right, here we go, guys. Round 3. All right, starting back up with the dumbbell squat jumps. All right, we're gonna do 10 of these. Now, as you're doing this, I'm gonna give you some more tips. Why do we do dumbbell squat jumps? This is a really good power movement. A lot of athletes, we are predominantly quad dominant athlete, right? It gives a lot of explosiveness. So by adding weights to the jump is really gonna help you develop that quick twitching muscle fiber in your quads to help you get more power out of your quads, whatever sport that you're playing, soccer, football, baseball, doesn't matter. It could be even something that's not as explosive, even like rock climbing. Even with rock climbing, this will be a great exercise to really help you do those dynos, right? All right, after you are done with 10 of those dumbbell squat jumps, next, we're gonna go down to the ground and we're gonna do 12 dumbbell hip bridge chest presses. One of the things I love about this exercise is it works multiple muscle groups. So, like I said, you're gonna do 12. I'm gonna go over some tips and the reasons why we're doing this. So whenever you are lowering your arms, like I said in that round 2, focus on your breathing, right? Whenever you bring your arms down, you wanna breathe in, hold your breath, exhale as you press up. And also another tip is, bring your glutes up, press out the heels as you press up. So with this move, it's really helping you with coordination and along with strength, because you have to be able to kind of pay attention to your hips, to your heels, as well as where your shoulders are, and of course, trying to do the movement of the press at the same time. All right, so this is a really good exercise to target multiple muscle groups at the same time. All right. After you are done with 12, next, we're gonna go back to another portion of the cardio, right? 3 minutes, just like you've done so far up to this point. All right, next we're going back to our dumbbell single arm power clean into a jerk. Now, why is this move part of the routine? Well, first off, go ahead and get started with 8 while I kind of go over the details of why we're adding this into the routine. So this move is a power move where you're taking something, a weight, an object from the ground up to your shoulder at a really fast speed. And then another power move of taking that weight from the shoulder to overhead, right? So this is working both the lower and the upper when it comes to power. So from here, right, it's all about speed. It's all about the thrust of the hips. Boom, bring it up to the shoulder. Then dip down, drive forward with your hips, poof, jerk up. Notice also when I jerk up, I want to try to get my arm in line with my body. So at the top, I'm using my skeletal system to brace the weight, not so much my muscles, right? So this way, my arm, as you can tell, is slightly right behind my ear. This way, everything is in line. Remember, you're gonna do 8 on each side. Okay, after doing 8 on each side, we're gonna go into our dumbbell and or kettlebell single arm row. Now, if you have a bench, you can also use a bench as well. So, or chair, doesn't matter. So if that position, right, being on in a split lunge is uncomfortable for you, you can actually take your hand, place it on top of a chair or a bench and do the exact same move. All right, you're gonna do 12 on each side. This is a classic move, really help build a strong back. Remember, you're only gonna do 12 on one side, and then we're gonna do 12 on the other. Now when you're using a chair, there's actually a couple different ways. So as you're doing this move, you can kind of test out the different kind of like feet position. So you could do it like the way we've been doing it, which is more of a split. You can also bring your feet where it's more of a in line with each other, and then do the exact same thing. Now, with this position, it requires a little bit more core strength because this way is gonna try to twist you, and it's your goal, try not to twist by keeping your core tight. So you can play with 2 different feet positions to find out which is more suitable for you. All right, after you've done 12 on each side, again, back to your cardio, bike, treadmill, jump rope, run in place. Let's get ready for it. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and begin. All right, guys, we are on the final round of today's workout. Remember, you're gonna get 2 minutes of rest, get some water, get some hydration. Like I said earlier, if you start to feel a little nauseous or whichever, have a seat, chill, relax. And once you're finished with your rest, we're gonna finish this last round on a high note. One more round, let's do it. Let's pick up those dumbbells back to our dumbbell squat jumps. Take those tips like mentioned earlier and try to apply them to the best of your abilities. We're gonna do 10. 8, come on, 2 more. 9 and 10. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's take those dumbbells back on the ground into our glute bridge. Chest presses. All right, press off the heels. Press. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Remember to push the hips up. Press through the heels. Come on, we got 5 more. Let's do it. 1. Come on, 2 more. Last 2. And 2. All right, put those dumbbells aside. 3 minutes of cardio. All right, grab your ropes, run in place, get on your cardio machine, whatever it is that you're gonna do. All right, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Man, jump ropes are hard. All right, let's do this. Onward to our dumbbell single arm power clean into a jerk. As I said earlier, take those tips, drive through the hips, right through both movements. First pull, press. We're gonna do 8 on each side. All right, we got 3 more. Here we go. 1, 2. All right, back to the other side. All right, we got this. 4 more. One more. We got this. Whoa, it's done. Whew. All right. Next, onward to our single arm row. Okay. We're gonna do 12 here. Halfway. Focus on your breathing. Remember, is exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. 3 more. 1. Oh man. Ooh, I love it. All right, here we go. On to the other side. Another 12. Last 12. Come on. You got this. Halfway. 1, 2, 4. Last 2. 5 and 6. Oh. All right, put that aside. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Our last round of cardio. Okay? Let's finish, like I said, on a high note. This is where I would say for the last 30 seconds or so, you know, whatever machine you're on, whether it's running, rowing, doesn't matter. All right, try to go as fast as you can. Let's get it. You're done and you did it. Good job. You showed up, you worked hard. Whether you did 1 round or 4, you did it. All right, most importantly next is we have to stretch. Go ahead and click that card right there, right above me for our stretch video for you to follow along. Thank you for showing up and joining me today for the workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the exercises, more details, comment below, and we'll see you on our next workout.